Hey guys, so I'm just sitting in my sauna sweating to the oldies. Remember, you ever watch Richard Simmons back in the day? Sweating to the oldies. Anyway, all joking aside, I have some pretty fabulous news on my MRI of my liver. So the results actually came in last night, freakishly enough, just the impression, which was basically the two lesions remain unchanged since the last CT in August, 8/8/2018, which is when I was first diagnosed, the month after I was diagnosed, and they were doing all the tests. They saw something in my liver then, and they didn't look into it further. Well, apparently these are the same spots that lit up on the PET scan. Before they didn't, now they did, so they wanted to make sure it wasn't metastasis. Although now that I realized definitively that they were the same spots that they saw back in August, I was going to be pretty PO'd if they misdiagnosed me as a stage 3 when in fact I would have been a stage 4 if it had been metastasized back then. If it said it was cancer now, then obviously it was cancer then. Anyway, so it turns out they're probably benign cysts, unlikely to be metastasis. So that is just the biggest weight off my shoulders. So I got the test last night, just the impression. I read it, was super excited. Then I did a little research this morning and I got a little nervous again because I was looking at some cysts being actually metastasis, from other cancers like breast cancer is mine. And so I got a little worried again. I just waited for the call from the doctor, which my oncologist is not great at all. She never calls me with the results. Turns out she's on vacation. Anyway, so she actually had her, which I'm thankful, she actually looked it over. She was probably really concerned for her own butt that this was not cancer because she could have diagnosed me as stage 4 many, many months ago. So you bet your bottom dollar she was looking out for those tests. Anyway, so her assistant Jason, the office manager, calls me and he tells me that indeed the results are that they're the two lesions, very small, like 2 millimeters. I think one's maybe like 3 to 4 millimeters and the other one's 2 millimeters. They actually didn't have enough characteristics to define exactly what it is. That's what they say. But they just assume it's also a cyst. They're right in the upper right lobe, which is again another spot that's characteristic for just being benign cysts. I don't know why I have the liver cysts. I mean, I did a lot more drinking when my brother died a couple years ago, but nothing too crazy. Like I don't get drunk all the time or anything, but it could be something with alcohol. I've significantly reduced it down to almost nothing, especially since the recurrence of my breast cancer. So, just keep an eye on that. I'm doing a lot of detox, obviously, and continue to detox, enemas and good supplementation and, clean eating. I'm doing intermittent fasting and water fasting just to get myself purified and clean and hopefully shrink the 5 tumors that are now identified in my left breasts. So the plan, as far as the oncologist goes, is to start chemo. That's, of course, their tool to shrink the tumor, the tumor. Okay, we are on part 2. Yesterday I started the video and didn't get a chance to finish it. My phone died. So I am continuing again in the sauna, this time with the green light, which is the cancer light. So I think I left you off where I was discussing how they want to do chemo because they need to shrink the tumors that are there. Well, they want to do mastectomy, but because I can't do lumpectomy because there are 2 further down on the right side that are small, but it's just would be too much cutting in to do a lumpectomy. So I'm looking at mastectomy. And the problem is that the 3 centimeter tumor is about 1 centimeter invaded into the muscle. So to avoid a surgery that's really invasive and just, traumatizing and just physically going to be very scarring, visually and physically, I'll lose some of that muscle there. It'll be painful and nobody wants that. I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, my arm's tired. I got a rebounder, so I did my first workout on the rebounder today, and then I did a yoga session here at home, so I'm a little tired. and a little weak from being in the sauna. Anyway, so now I've got to decide whether or not I'm going to go through the chemo, go through with it, or am I going to continue with my fasting and low carb, low sugar, pretty much ketogenic without meat, because meat has glutamine and glutamine feeds cancer. So keto without meat, so plant protein keto to kill this cancer in my body, okay? It is a really tough choice. I am excited because I do have an appointment with a naturopathic oncologist on Wednesday. She is actually at the clinic I visited a while back. I saw Dr. Chen there. He does integrative cancer therapy. He does low-dose chemotherapy. And there wasn't anything I disliked about Dr. Chen. I just didn't get that feeling I needed to know he was the one to choose to switch over from where I was at Valley, because, you know, it's easier if you can just stay in one place where you're getting all your treatment. And I do love the Valley Breast Center. For the most part, it's been a good experience there. So they brought on a naturopathic oncologist not too long after I saw Dr. Chen, but she wasn't included on the insurance plans yet. So I just had a hunch to call yesterday and just find out if she was on the insurance, and she isn't quite yet because they're waiting. They're actually moving locations, so that's going to be mid-March, and then she will be on the insurance. So I decided to go ahead, pay out of pocket $250. I'll see her on Wednesday, and I just want to get a feel if she's the right cancer doctor for me. I just want to have that rapport and that trust and that open communication where I don't feel like I have to hide anything, and I can openly talk about cannabis oil, fasting, and not have someone look at me like, you're an idiot, you know, like, boy, you sure drank the Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? I want somebody who understands that there are very powerful integrative approaches to healing cancer outside of chemotherapy and all of the drugs that are involved. So I'm excited to meet Dr. Sweet on Wednesday, and I just pray the universe keeps leading me in the right direction. I'm so excited about the results. A huge weight lifted. I pray that, you know, the 2-millimeter lesion that they couldn't characterize is only just a cyst. And I'm just gonna work hard and believe that I'm facing my own mortality, because if I don't, then it's so easy to fall off the wagon, you know? And I want to keep strong. I want to keep strong because the sugar cravings and the carb cravings are super strong. But, you know, maybe that's why it's such a simple diet. Maybe that's why a lot of people can't do it. It's so simple, the concept, starve to cure cancer. I'm listening to a really amazing book called The Metabolic Approach to Cancer. I highly recommend it. Please go download it on Audible, go buy it, go get it on Amazon, check it out from your local library, put it on your Kindle. I don't even care if you don't have cancer, do it. You are going to possibly save your life and many others, because you're going to be touched by some sort of disease sometime in your life, and this book is going to help you get to the core of your sickness and your wellness. So go do it. The Metabolic Approach to Cancer. I'm sweating everywhere. Okay, that is all for this update. I'm soaking wet everywhere, and I got to get out of the sauna here. So love you. Peace out. Reach out to me in the comments. Share your experience with fasting, your experience with cancer. Just let's connect and let's support each other in this journey. Okay? Peace out, trappies.